What the fuck the function? What the fuck the function? The way I feel right now feels like I need to be all alone. I'm going to be breaking down the entirety of the UFC Fight Night Lewis versus Teixeira card from the first fight of the evening to the main event with Derrick Lewis taking on former debutante Taliesin Teixeira. I guess everyone's a former debutante, but you know what I mean. We're going to start with the first fight of the night. Fatima Klein taking on Melissa Martinez. No idea who that is. Not even an idea who that is. Who is Melissa Martinez? Beat Alice Ardelian by decision. Lost to Elise. Honestly, Elise lost, not aging terribly. Fatima Klein, very good. I see a lot of potential. She went to a decision against Jasmine Jasudavicius. Jasmine finished Jessica Andrade. Jasmine's a very good contender. She took her to decision at a weight class above her usual weight. So Fatima Klein, very good. I expect her to do well. Her last fight was a victory with a TKO from half guard elbows. Taking on Melissa Martinez, I think it's a clear Fatima. And if you look at the odds, by the way, minus 1,115 favorite. So, very clear Fatima Klein victory. I'm going to go by finish for this fight. I don't know why they booked this. We continue. Mike Davis taking on Mitch Ramirez. Mike Davis, notably, wasn't he the guy who just fought for SZM? Yes, he is. He's the guy who just fought for SZM. He had, was it like a calf slicer or something? Or I forget what it was. It was maybe a knee bar. I think it was a calf slicer. Or so, I forget, but I remember for SZM's leg being not a way a leg should go. It looked like a V, but like a backwards indented V. Like it was, I don't understand how SZM could walk after that fight. He must have tore every single ligament and just hearted through it. It was insane. But he lost that. But Mike Davis lost that fight pretty clearly. I think it was a 2-1, maybe a 3-0 for SZM. Taking on Mitch Ramirez. He's coming off of a loss in his debut to leg kicks. So I'm going to go with Mike Davis to win this fight. You know, he's just a vet. He's just got that experience. I think Mitch Ramirez, I don't know. I don't know the guy. I really just don't. Fought Thiago Moises and lost. And Thiago's kind of washed, so. We continue. Kennedy Nzechukwu is taking on Walter Walker. This is a good fight, by the way. I'm a big Walter Walker fan. Kennedy Nzechukwu coming up from light heavyweight in his last fight, I believe. Nope. 2 fights ago, coming up from heavyweight. He's doing good. He's got 2 first-round finishes at heavyweight. But now he's taking on Walter Walker. Walter Walker, owner of not one of 4. All right? There's 4 heel hooks in heavyweight history. Walter Walker does not have 1, but he has 2, and they both are in his last 2 fights against Junior Tafa and Don'Tale Mayes. I got Walter. Oh, dude. But I like Kennedy a lot, and he's got power at heavyweight, man. I think I'm going to go with Walter Walker. His other 2 opponents for Kennedy has been decently chinny guys. A Chris Barnett and a Lucas Bresky. And I hate to shit on Chris Barnett. I just heard his story. Dude, it's so sad, but Lucas Bresky sucks. Chris Barnett, I mean, I like Chris Barnett as a fighter, but he's not that good. I think Walter Walker is going to take this fight, but it's a close one, man. I could really see it going either way. It's just like, I'm still thinking of light heavyweight Kenny Nzechukwu's skill level. I mean, he fought an OSP. He lost to a OSP in what, 2023? 2024? Mid-2024? Walter Walker, I just think he's good, man. I think he's a very good wrestler. Yeah, didn't he have that weird, like, loss or something? Was it him or the guy screamed? I think that, okay. It was the Junior Tafa fight where he had Junior in a heel hook and Junior Tafa screamed, but he never tapped. And then he had a conniption after the fight ended. I remember this story now. So he was very upset when the fight ended because he never tapped to the submission. He never tapped to the heel hook. But he didn't know that in the actual official MMA rules, a scream is a verbal tap out. If you scream in pain, you are tapping out. You cannot do that in MMA. He didn't know that. I didn't know that. Even the announcers didn't know that. So he verbally tapped out. Walter Walker since then has been, I don't know what show it was on, I apologize, but he came out and said that, because this took place in Australia, Junior Tafa from Australia. Walter had come out and said that the fans were so upset that the UFC told him, you can't go back to the hotel, you have to fly home. You have to go home. You can't come back. You can't stay in Australia. He said he was upset because he wanted to stay in Australia for a few days. It was his first time being there, but he got forced to go home because they worried that he was going to get like killed or jumped or something because of the Junior Tafa finish. Anyways, we continue. I got Walter Walker, by the way, Walter Walker to win this fight against Canadian Nzechukwu. We continue. Lauren Murphy. How is she still fighting? Lauren Murphy taking on Eduarda Mora. I think Eduarda Mora is not bad. Okay, she's all right. Coming off a win against Veronica Hardy, who is she even in the UFC anymore? She is. That was her last fight too. I like Veronica Hardy, but she's not that good. If we're honest, she's not that good. But she's taking Eduarda Mora is taking on Lauren Murphy, 41-year-old Lauren Murphy. Ancient Lauren Murphy. Last fight was in 2023. A win over Jessica Andrade. I don't remember that fight at all. Decision win. Beat Miesha Tate. I mean, well, what was her last good win? She has none. She has 0 good wins. I guess 2022 Miesha Tate is not that impressive. Whatever. Eduarda Mora is going to destroy this old, raggedy woman. That was mean. I apologize. Yo, Lauren, I know you're watching this, Lauren. That was offside, all right? I take it back. Eduarda Mora, though, by decision probably. It's women's 125. We continue. Jake Matthews taking on Chidi Njokuani. Now, Chidi it was a very good win against Alizo Zaleski. He's got a third name in there somewhere, Alizo Zaleski. Doesn't he? Yeah, Alizo Zaleski dos Santos. I thought he was pretty good. He knocked out Zach Scroggin. Don't know who that is, but he got finished by Chidi Njokuani. Chidi looked good in that fight. He's kind of old, I swear. Isn't he? Like 35, 36? 36 years old. He's taking on Jake Matthews. Heavy wrestler Jake Matthews, by the way. Who doesn't have that many good wins. Looking at his record, how he's been in the UFC that long, and he's got wins over like Andre Fialho and Phil Rowe. Took Michael Morales to decision. I don't know. Jake Matthews, heavy wrestler. Chidi Njokuani, kickboxer. Classic matchup. I think, low-key, I'm going to go with Chidi to win this fight. His distance management is very good. He's almost like a worse MVP. He's a worse 170-pound MVP. That's how I imagine him. I have him to win this fight. I just don't know that Jake Matthews can close the distance effectively enough to win the fight or get like takedowns in that. But again, this is another one I could see going either way. I'm going to go with Chidi Njokuani to win this fight by decision. We continue. Chris Curtis versus Max Griffin. Another decent. This fight's all right. I like Chris Curtis a lot. His first UFC fight was my first UFC live event, so I like Chris Curtis a lot. I swear his last fight was against Roman Kopylov, and it was arguably bad call on the finish there. He was head kick KO'd in the last second of the last round. It was, I don't know. Yeah, I would have called it a knockout too, but also it's like 1 second left. How much more damage is he really going to sustain? I feel like they could have just let it go to decision, make it look better on his record, but he is coming off a knockout loss. Very good fight that. If I remember correctly, that was a good fight. Taking on Max Griffin. Now, Max Griffin, not that good, bro. Not that good. He's failing. Max Griffin, they keep giving him shots, by the way. What the fuck is this? He's failing every, like, what's the word? Every step up in competition that they give him, he fails. Gave him a Neil Magny. Lost that. How do you lose to Neil Magny in 2022? You lost to Michael Morales. Actually, a good, Michael Morales, very good. Also took him to decision. Lost to a Michael Chiesa. I think Michael Chiesa is coming off of a victory, maybe. I don't know. His last fight was so fucking bad. What's Chiesa coming off of? Yeah, victory over Court McGee. That fight was dog shit. It's all right. I'm going with Chris Curtis on this one. I feel like I like Chris, man. He's 37, though. Max Griffin's 39? Oh, my goodness. I got Chris Curtis to win this fight. Neither of them are further in their career, so it doesn't really matter. It's a decent fight, though. It'll be fun to watch. We continue. Junior Tafa. We're flying through this card, by the way. I just seen that we're only 13 minutes into recording. Junior Tafa taking on Tuco Tokos. Tuco Tokos, memorable name, not a memorable fighter. Who'd he fight? Lost to Navajo Sterling. Oh, that was Navajo Sterling's debut as well, wasn't it? If I recall correctly, that was Navajo Sterling's debut. Yep. Boring as shit fight. Lost to Umar C by finish. He's 0-2 in UFC, by the way. Oh, yeah, he's getting fucked. Junior Tafa, in shape for this fight. I don't know if you've seen the photos. He locked in, bro. He's one of the only two Tafa brothers. He's the Tafa brother who fails. He's the Tafa brother who cares about doing well in the sport, I feel. Justin Tafa can't give a fuck. Junior Tafa, he locked in, bro. He's actually in good shape. I have him winning this fight by finish. The Tafa brothers have immense power. Won his last fight by knockout in round 2. I think it's going to be a Junior Tafa finish. I don't think Tuco Tokos is that good. Very memorable name, though. Vitor Petrino, moving up to heavyweight. From light heavyweight, his last fight was a knockout loss against Dustin Jacoby. Horrible knockout. Mirror image of the Kamaru Usman Jorge Masvidal finish. Mirror image of it. Like was it a straight right down the pipe, duck under the counter hook, and then like the guy's like fucking turning that way. Mirror image of it. I seen him at light heavyweight. He was shredded at light heavyweight. He looks like a bodybuilder at heavyweight. I don't know how much he weighed in at 249. He's big as fuck. He's taking on Austin Lane. Austin Lane knocked out very badly in his last fight. Straight right from I think maybe a debutant? Mario Pinto, yeah. 39 seconds to round 2. Was it a hook? I swear it was a straight. I swear it was just a straight right down the pipe that just clipped him right on the front of the jaw. Maybe it was a hook. That was earlier this year. Honestly, not that long ago to be slept that like flatline KO'd, arms up like this when you're falling, KO'd, and you're back. What, 4 months later? We're talking Volkanovski versus Ilya Topuria after getting head kicked by Islam. Vitor Petrino is going to win this fight by knockout. He's going to be so powerful at heavyweight. Rip Austin Lane, I guess. I don't know why why they're feeding Austin Lane to Vitor Petrino. I like Austin Lane. That's actually a good fight. I was skimming over this fight. Looking into it, that's a good as fuck fight. We continue. Nate the Train Landwehr is taking on Morgan Charrier. Isn't Landwehr from Louisiana? He's from Tennessee. Never mind. Taking on Morgan Charrier. Morgan Charrier, unfinishable. When I mean unfinishable, I mean can't follow up. He's coming off of a loss to Nathaniel Wood. He looked awful in that fight. Nathaniel Wood's not like all that, and Nathaniel Wood's not like championship material. You know what I mean? He got clipped in that fight pretty bad, and Nathaniel Wood couldn't finish him. He's all right. He's a good French name. 29-year-old. He's a prospect. Always dyes his hair. I like him, but I like Nate Landwehr more. He looked bad in his last fight too, though. Both of these guys looked like horrible in their last fight. He was finished in his last fight by Doo-Ho Choi in the crucifix position. I remember this. It was Doo-Ho Choi's like first time back in years, and everyone was like, "Oh, but Nate the Train's, knocked out Jamal Emmers, knocked out who, by the way, I learned today beat Corey Sandhagen." So Nate Landwehr is lineally next up to fight Merab. He's got finishes. Like, Nate Landwehr has finishes. Lost to a Dan Ige, lost to a Julian Erosa earlier in his career. I like Nate Landwehr a lot. This is a tough fight to judge, man. Morgan Sherrier's got that age experience. Nate Landwehr's kind of old, man, and he got finishes. But the finish wasn't like a flatline KO or anything. It was kind of a TKO from the elbows. He just couldn't get out of the position. I think if Morgan Sherrier can put the pressure on him, he's the favorite as well. I think I'm going to go with him. If he can put the pressure on him, take him down, get him into a position that's not easily escapable, like a crucifix or maybe like even a top mount, he just starts pounding away. I feel like Nate Landwehr he just doesn't have the skill set to get out of that position, to advance, to make himself in a better spot than just getting your face pounded in. So I'm going to go with Morgan Sherrier to win this fight. I like Nate Landwehr a lot, man, but I think Sherrier just has more in his toolbox than Nate Landwehr does. He just got power. We continue. Next fight. Calvin Kattar taking on Steve Garcia. No idea who Steve Garcia is. I'm going to be honest with you. Beat Kyle the Monster Nelson. I have a photo with Kyle the Monster Nelson. He's the only fighter I have a photo with. He knocked him out in round 1. Yo, this kid's good. Pause. He lost to Mahashate? He's good. He's good. Beat Chuper? Oh, my goodness. He beat Chuper. Yeah, Steve Garcia is mad good. I feel like I recognize the face, but I just don't really recognize the name. I don't really recognize... And 33 years old, kind of young, but out of his prime. But he's taking on Calvin Kattar. Calvin Kattar was on the wrong end of the most significant strikes landed in UFC history. I should tell you all you need to know. I mean, he's good. He's a gamer, dude. He's got an amazing chin. He's coming off of 4 straight losses. How is he? He's ranked, bro. He's ranked in the UFC. He has not won a fight since 2022, and he is ranked in the UFC. He's coming off a loss to Yusuf Zalal. Horrible fight. Yusuf Zalal was running the entire fight and won the fight. I mean, the rest of his losses are actually decent competition. That's why you can't really blame him. And also, one of them was a knee injury, so it doesn't really count. But he's just... I think he's pretty mid. He's old now, too. 37. I don't know, man. I like Calvin Kattar. Steve Garcia is just on a tear right now. Piecing up everybody. Calvin's on 4 losses. I'm going with Steve Garcia to win this fight. Probably a decision because I think Calvin's chin will still hold up into his, 40s. We continue. Stephen Thompson taking on Gabriel Bonfim. Stephen Thompson's last fight was, I think, Buckley. Yeah, it was the Buckley KO. It was the Buckley KO in October. Was that on the Max Holloway card? No, surely. No, that was a main event, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. It was a... Was it on the Holloway card? I don't think so. We continue. Stephen Thompson going to be taking on Gabriel Bonfim. Stephen Thompson's last fight was a knockout, horrible knockout loss, flatline KO loss to Joaquin Buckley. He also lost to Shavkat by choke. And then he beat Kevin Holland. It was a horrible, horrible fight against Kevin Holland. I like Stephen Thompson a lot. Nicest guy on the roster, as confirmed by many, many people. He's old, though. 42 years old. And Gabriel Bonfim, I think he's a little bit fraudy. He's a little bit like, you can find his chin. I mean, he got finished once, but you know what I mean? It was a round 2 knockout from Nick Dalby. The guy who just got slept. Speaking of mirror images, he got mirror image slept of the Gaethje Holloway knockout by Randy Brown. He's good. I like Gabriel Bonfim. He's good. I don't think he has that much star power. He's 27, though. He's going into his prime. I like Gabriel Bonfim. I don't think he has the star power. He's got the finishing ability. He taps people out a lot of the time. Took Ange Lusa to a decision. That guy's not even in the UFC anymore. I think he's going to beat Stephen Thompson. I mean, we all know the holes in Stephen's game, right? If you can get him down, he's a kickboxer. That's where he is not good. Right? You have Shavkat Rakhmonov not that long ago standing rear naked choke. Gabriel Bonfim doesn't have to get him down to choke him out. And he's got such a big age gap. As much as I hate to do it, I'm going with Gabriel Bonfim. I pray Stephen Thompson can pull this one out the fire. Shout out to Leon Edwards' coach. I forgot his name. We continue. The main event of the evening, the final fight. Derrick Lewis is taking on Talison Teixeira. Couple questions. Why are we giving Derrick Lewis a main event slot every time he fights? He's outspokenly said, do not give me main events. Do not give me good fights. I just want to earn my... I mean, okay, he doesn't say this, but my theory is he just wants to earn his knockout bonus money. He's the knockout king. They're going to give him a bonus every time because every time he does it, it's insane. I don't even remember the Rodrigo Nascimento fight. I thought his last fight was the fight from 2023, the Marcos Rogerio de Lima fight, where he flying kneed him in the opening seconds of the round. That was an insane finish. But, like, bro, his last fight was a main event against Rodrigo Nascimento. His fight before that was a main event against, what's his name? Jailton Almeida. Why does this guy keep getting main events? The fight before the De Lima fight was a main event against Sergey Spivak. Why does he keep getting main events? He doesn't want to fight 5 rounds. He says, don't give me a championship fight. I don't want to fight 5 rounds. I want to fight 3 rounds. And then they go, oh, okay. Sure thing, Derrick Lewis. Here's a main event slot. Because you're the balls was hot guy. Say the line, Derrick. It's, you know, it's kind of funny. It's overplayed, but it's kind of funny. And I was taking on Talison Teixeira. Talison Teixeira has 1 fight in the UFC. He knocked out Justin Tafa in 35 seconds and was gifted a Derrick Lewis fight. Now, he is 6'8". He does have knockout power, clearly. A Justin Tafa round 1 KO is insane, but also Justin Tafa, is he that good? I don't really think so. I don't think so. Has he been finished like that before? No. Only in his debut by Jorgen De Castro. I don't know, man. It's like, is Talison... We just don't know if Talison is that good. I'm not going to watch his, you know, non-MMA fights or his LFA. I just, you know, I don't care that much, but he beat, by the way, Arthur Fonseca, and his next fight, he beat Mateus Fonseca. So, knocking out brothers, this guy. I just, like, Derrick Lewis is 40. And he's a heavyweight. He weighed only 261, though. Impressive. Derrick Lewis, good job, man. You're cutting the weight. Good on you. I don't know who to pick for this fight. It's such a bad fight. And you know if Talison Teixeira wins, he's getting like a Curtis Blades. Right? Unless he knocks out Derrick Lewis in 30 seconds, in which case he might even get a Tom Aspinall. He might even get a Tom Aspinall, because they don't want to make the Gone fight. I'll tell you that for free. It would have been made already. I think Talison Teixeira is going to knock out Derrick Lewis. He's just old, man. That's it. That's all I have to say. He's just old. I don't even have much to comment on. Derrick Lewis, knockout king. Balls was hot. That's it. I don't know. 82% of his wins come by knockout. 23 wins by knockout. Talison Teixeira has 8 fights. I don't know. I just don't care either. I just don't care. The horrible poster, by the way. 9 first-round finishes, 8 first-round finishes. It's his second fight in the UFC, man. Derrick has finishes in the first round in the UFC. Tyson Teixeira has 1 fight in the UFC. I don't know. I'm going with Tyson Teixeira by KO. That's it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button, as it does really support my channel. And if you want to see more like this, I post 2 times per week. Tap in. I'll see you guys in the next one. Follow my Instagram, by the way. I never say this in the video. Follow my Instagram, official ZFixed. Bye-bye.